Morning, brothers and sisters. Sister Melissa here, and here to give you a message about the year 2017. I have just been getting messages and messages and messages, phone calls, texts, all about the negative energy that has been going on. On top of that, going on social media and just seeing negativity slurred all over. We've been having lots of death, job loss, lack of love, people breaking up. We have had tons and tons of just disconnection with each other, really, and lots of change for 2017. Now, on the 1st of 2017, so January 1st, 2017, I had prophesized I shouldn't say I prophesized, the angels came down and told me that 2017 was going to be the year of trial and tribulations, and that we were going through a lot of hardship. They were here to protect in mass quantities, ways that I have actually never seen before. So the week before Christmas, some kind of portal, some kind of vortex was open. This was also at the time that we had entered into Mercury retrograde on December 19th. For those of you that do not know what Mercury retrograde is a time when Mercury's gravity speeds it up so fast that it appears as though it is going backwards, just as though a car driving on the highway, their tires would seem as though it's going backwards. And what this does is, instead of sending the energy and having everything calm that is coming towards us and the consciousness coming towards us, once it starts speeding up, it actually retrogrades, and it works as though it is a vacuum, and it starts pulling the energies from this earth. It is very inconvenient for a lot of people. This is a time when electronics and stuff start going haywire because the Wi-Fi is affected by the gravitational pull of Mercury retrograde. We'll have problems with confusion because our collective consciousness is set at a different place than it usually is. It's just kind of up a little bit higher, and not that you can't get to the collective consciousness, just that you have to put in a little bit extra energy to be able to get to that place. Now, some darker energies came through just the week before Christmas. And so for those of you who had a bad Christmas this year, or you weren't in the Christmas mood, lots of people didn't even set up the Christmas tree. Lots of people just kind of did their visit and opened the presents and left, just because nobody was really feeling that. That did have to do with Mercury retrograde, but on top of that, it did have to do with this vortex or a portal that has been open and created for some kind of extraterrestrial darker energies that have came through. And now when they came through, they did come at a time when we were weak. They came at a time when Mercury retrograde was coming through. They timed it epically, very perfectly. And what they have started doing is starting actually taking over consciousness of different people. Lots of people are having thoughts within their head that are not realistic thoughts, that are not thoughts that they would normally think about. They are having lots of confusion. We are seeing nausea go through, more headaches go through, extreme tiredness. Women feeling as though they are pregnant just because of the hormonal change that is going through, because of the fact that they are feeling extremely tired, along with the nausea, along with the confusion. And that is the females are being hit a little bit more, a little bit harder on this. When these new energies came through, not only have they been getting a little bit stronger, but we also in this past month here in January, we ended up coming into a 3-day full moon. Now, not only was it a 3-day full moon, but it was a 3-day full moon on top of our Cancer moon. And so for those of you that don't know what Cancer is, we're speaking the zodiac sign. And Cancers are very, very, very emotional. Whether that be sad emotional, happy emotional, they could be angry. Either which way, the Cancer moon brings out emotion. Now, when the Cancer moon came through, we're looking at January 11th and Mercury retrograde had just finished, and so we were in the shadow of Mercury retrograde. And at that very moment, these entities came through with even a stronger energy than I have seen in a long time. What this did, especially to our healers and our psychics and people who were very in tune with the universe, God, nature, angels, spirits, is this actually cut our lines of energy. It actually dimmed the lines and made it a lot weaker, so that we are not seeing as many auras. We're not seeing as many energy lines. We're not having as many visuals. We're not getting the signs from God and from the source like we used to, because of the fact that these extraterrestrial conscious energies have come in, and they actually started severing lines of energy with people. And so we must be conscious of this energy. We must be conscious of the fact that this is not our own doing. This is not ourself. This is not just us, one person going through this. This is an entire universe that is going through this. All of Earth, everybody from all across nations are feeling this, because the conscious energy has not been entered onto this earth before. I've never seen it. I've never felt it. I have gone through the registers of Earth since its began, and I have not ever seen this extraterrestrial energy coming through. And it's a very dense, very threatening kind of energy. And I don't mean to scare you in that way, because it's not going to, obviously the worst that it can do at this very moment is start to seep through the consciousness and start to, seep through the spirit and cut the energy lines. So it's not like it's attacking us and trying to kill us in that way, but it is severing our cords. And when our cords are severed and we don't have as much energy lines and as much a connection between source and between each other and between the angels and the spirits, it's like the world is just silent. So if you're feeling as though the world is quiet right now, and when I mean by quiet is I'm speaking specifically to those that are in tune. If you're feeling like human, more human lately, and not so magical, not as though you have a lot of your energies, it has to do with this new consciousness that has come through. I don't know a name of it. I have no idea where it's coming from. With this new energy too is a lot of tinnitus in the ears. Lots of people going through different frequencies, hearing different tones. Now, a way that we can possibly find out where this is when you're hearing that tone, take time to sit and meditate and follow that tone. I've tried. This is a universe that I have not been able to explore. I can go as far to the end of our universe. I can go to that portal, but I cannot go in it. If any of you can get in it, please let me know. Please let me know what you are seeing, what you're feeling, so that we can somehow make the blockage on this energy. What we are really needing right now is you to check yourself. We need to check your spirit. We need to check your 7 chakras. Make sure that they are all in line. This is going to take work. This isn't going to just be one meditation and everything is going to be okay and everything's going to be fine. This new consciousness that has come over and taken over with our frequencies that are riding with Wi-Fi. They are riding in the consciousness of the Wi-Fi. They are going through different computers, different electronics, different kinds of sources. And so we are all being caught on this, and it is literally changing the frequency within ourselves. And this is also why we're hearing that extra frequency and that extra tuning, because we are tuning into their frequencies and out of ours, which makes our body very uncomfortable. You might, we're seeing lots of head colds, especially. And lots of heart problems, because we're disconnecting from the love of each other. We're disconnecting from the love of our God and the love of our angels. And not that we don't love them. I don't want to say that we don't love them, but it is just making it a little bit harder for us to be loving each other and for us to be loving that God and to be in that all happy, all positive mode. It's just not happening right now. It's literally a fight. We have to consciously think to work on that heart chakra. And the reason that the head colds are going on right now is because we we are being disconnected with our crown chakra. We are being disconnected from that third eye. And then also we're going to see areas of self-expression being affected. And so communication is going to be very hard this year. And especially within the first 2 months as people are getting acclimated to this new energy. We're going to have communication problems, throat problems, so you're going to see a lot of problems within the heart and upper. Now, for those of you who know anything about chakras, for those of you who know anything about energies, our heart chakra, our throat chakra, our third eye, and our crown chakra are all associated with spirit. So these are going to be the energies that are going to be affected. And if we cannot check those, if we cannot get those healthy, if we cannot get those energy connected again, we're going to start to see it within the physical form where, once again, we're going to go through just different problems. We're going to go through back problems, problems of the digestive system. We will go through hip, knees, feet problems, lots of different things, just while the spirit is physically trying to ground itself. So just be wary, be careful of whatever these energies are going, of these different energies. Be very, very, very careful that whatever energy you're tapping into, you know the energy and you know that it is coming from source, from the good source, because right now is a specific time where these energies are actually trying to feed the darkness. They're trying to feed all of the different energies. Now, on the 1st of January, I was in my living room and literally started seeing portals opening. Started seeing the ceiling moving and just circulation. All of the ceiling ended up opening into a portal of angels. Now, I see angels daily. And usually, I'll see just a few. I'll see 13 of them if something is really going on. But this specific day on the 1st, this portal of angels just opened. And there were more angels than I have ever seen, ever. My daughter, who also sees angels, was also watching the same thing happening, as there were just angels just pouring. I cannot even put into words how many angels were coming out of these vortex. And I had seen it last year also when we were seeing mass amounts of archangels. And when I mean by mass amounts, I'm talking maybe 10, maybe 15 of them. But usually when I see archangels, I'm seeing one of them at a time. They were coming down. I caught them on my actual camera. This was something that was that the human eye was actually able to visually see as it was coming down. For those of you who are friends with me on Facebook, you have probably seen the pictures of the fire rainbows that were all around the sun, and I do have the pictures of the angels coming down, and you can actually see the form of them where it's a straight line, and then the bulge of the angel, and then a fainter line where they had not traveled yet, coming down to earth. But right now, we do have angels. They are coming out for whatever reason. We're having more of a disconnect with them. Okay. They're fighting this fight for us, and so that's that they're telling me right now. They said, well, it's not that we're here, we're actually fighting this fight and trying to get these entities in this portal closed. What was this portal open from? It has actually been open from technology. We are dealing with technologies that we find to be amazing, that are very, very powerful, and that we are not familiar with. So we're taking energies from other worlds and other places that are not necessarily of Earth energy or are too advanced for Earth energy. I shouldn't say that, because they're telling me it's okay to have on Earth, but you need to use it with caution. This dates all the way back to Nikola Tesla and how he was having the communication with the extraterrestrials. Many of his inventions were invented because of the fact that he was talking to extraterrestrials. He says it himself. He would go and visit other planets, and all of his information came from Bible and extraterrestrial. However, Nikola Tesla Tesla has also said himself that the advancement in energies with these extraterrestrials, he was not informed of the precautions that us humans needed to take, nor was he aware of how powerful these different energies were. And if you know anything about him, you know that half of his equipment he himself actually destroyed. We blame a lot of it on the government. That is not true. The truth of the story is Nikola Tesla was the one that shut down his Wardenclyffe Tower. That was the free energy, just because of the fact that he saw that it was opening up these new portals. Now we're bringing in tachyon energy. We're working with quantum physics. We're quantum mechanics. We're working with continuum theories and time travel. I mean, we're doing all of these things, and we are looking at it from a scientific view. The scientists need to start working on these things with the spiritual people, with the people that cannot just see through the microscope, but can in fact see through the third eye, because this stuff is no game. It's not anything to mess around with. We might see it as a miracle, we might see it as powerful, but what's really happening is that we are breaking down the ley lines. There is a specific grid system that is laid all around the earth, and that grid system works like a colander for your noodles that you would make macaroni and cheese with or something. And just like that colander, when we pour the noodles in there, the water is the only thing that seeps through. That's the reason our spirits are the water in that instance, and the spirits can walk through. But we can't have the noodles. We can't have these the bigger UFOs. We can't have these other things coming through and being able to stay, because their energy, because of the grid, will become very uncomfortable for them, and they won't be able to maintain it, and so they'll end up having to leave. But there are a lot of extraterrestrials who did seep through in human form and are going and living their life within the extraterrestrial consciousness, but they very much appear as though they're human, and they were born human. They just have a consciousness from another planet, and realistically, up until this day, that is how they are supposed to come through, as they must get the specific genetic codes of the human consciousness, thus the DNA formulation, in order to get into here. But because we are using so much technology, because we are using energies that we don't know what they're meant to do or what their destruction can be, we're just throwing that energy out there. And while we're throwing that energy out there, it's breaking holes into our earth grid, and we are mining from Mother Nature. We are destroying Mother Nature, burning Mother Nature, disrespecting Mother Nature, and all we are doing with that is we are actually breaking down Mother Nature's healing properties too. So know that when we're mining for these great amethysts, when we're mining for these great citrines or malachite or anything that is of earth, that was the earth energy that was set for the earth to heal. So when we take out anything out of Mother Nature, we must bless it, we must give it back. Now, Native Americans, they give tobacco back, they give sage back, they do prayers before they do any kind of work with Mother Nature, and that's because they're putting the energy in there before they take the energy out. This is something that we all have to do, that we all have to follow. Whenever I go rock hunting, I am always bringing my tobacco. I am always setting a prayer and an intent to say, Mother Nature, here's any energy that you need, and may this energy be in placement of the stones that I am going to take today. So we need to make sure that we are always giving energy back, because we fall into problems that we are today. And now this is going to get worse. This isn't going to get better. This is going to get worse unless people start checking themselves and making sure that your energy is okay. Just because of the fact that we've taken from Mother Nature, we've taken some of the healing properties. It's not whole. We haven't given back. On top of the technology, like I said, that is, and the Wi-Fi that is streaming all through and breaking those energy cords, we have opened up these portals. Just like if you have a hole in your colander, there are going to be noodles that are seeping through, and that is what is happening right now, is that we have messed with Mother Nature, we have messed with our energy grids, and we have to get it back. And the way that we have to get it back is through meditation, through energy work. There is nothing else that is going to work. We have to replace energy with energy. That's it. That's all that's going to work. So we need people praying for Mother Nature. We need transcendental meditation, not only for Mother Nature, but for all living things for this earth. And we also need to send energy up to that grid line and get those energies back going so that we can shut these portals, and we can seal the earth and get our energy back, and get that under command, and get our collective consciousness back in place. Because if our collective consciousness is being put at a higher frequency, like I said, it's going to be harder for us to catch it. We're going to have a lot more stupid people, a lot more confusion. We're going to have a lot more displacement in the world. We're going to have more hate. We're going to have lost connections. We're going to have lost love. We're going to see our psychics losing their abilities. We're going to see our intuitives not being able to get the signs that they need from the universe and the angels and the spirits, like I said before. So please, please, please know that this dense energy, these head colds, the heart chakra that is being pressurized right now. We're having so many people, especially people that are claimed energy workers, having anxiety, having to go on medication, going in thinking that they're having heart attacks, thinking that that there's something physically wrong with them. And then what happens? They get put on their medication. They're out of tune with nature. They are not feeling what they are supposed to be feeling. We're not getting the messages out there that we're supposed to be getting. So please, please, please know that this is something that is a spiritual thing that is happening, not to just you, but it is affecting everyone. I'm a Reiki master. I do Qigong, a shaman, cosmic energy, universal ray healing, angelic, alchemy, anything that I could possibly get my hands on as far as energy goes. I have been working on it, and I was actually claimed 2015, 2016 energy healer for Minnesota, and then also I was invited to Harvard in March and to speak about energy healing and to teach people there. They select 30 people from across the United States. I was one of 30 chosen for this mastermind and symposium class. I am very connected, and I was knocked on my ass. And I thought it was because my dear brother-in-law had passed away during this time. He passed on January 2nd, and I thought that it was just that energy really being taken down from me. But I realized that the energy had started prior to his death, and I have had communication with him, talked to him, and said my piece. Of course, we still have our days. However, this is something far more than grief at this point. And like I said, I have been getting mass amounts of energy healers contacting me saying, what is going on? I feel like I can't do healing. I feel like I want to give up. I feel rage. I feel pissed. And just like I had said back in September time, we are going to enter into the wrath of God. And this is what we're doing, is we're entering into the wrath of God. This is what this year is about. This is why the trial and tribulations are happening. This is why Lucifer is going to be testing a lot more people. Now, I want to make this clear. Lucifer is a good guy, and his only work on this earth is to test people. He was an angel. He still is an angel. And at some point in time, he's going to go back, and he's going to take his place up next to God in the heavens. However, the entities that were created by Lucifer, when given the rights to do the testing, are out of control in a way that Lucifer at this point can't even control them. And so we really, 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 really need to make sure that we are loving. We really need to make sure that we are sending energy, healing energy to the entire universe. As I said, Mother Nature, energy lines, people, animals, insects, all things on Earth. We need to increase the frequencies and knock this thing out of here, because this extraterrestrial frequency that is coming in here, this isn't good, people. This isn't a good energy that we are going to be doing. We also need to be working on these chemtrails, because these chemtrails are definitely hurting our ley lines and definitely hurting our energy lines that are coming in through this earth, and they are also attributing or contributing to the fact that we are opening up all these different portals, because those chemicals do affect the energy, and it makes it a little bit weaker. Not that it takes it away, but it does make it a little bit weaker. So please, please, please know that whatever you're going through, all of the drama, all of the chaos, all of the sickness and the disconnection is something that is happening to everyone. It's not just you. It literally is just kind of everyone getting this energy right now. So do your checks. Make sure that you are always increasing your energy. Make sure that you are fighting to keep your energy. I have so many people just saying, I can't do it anymore. I don't want to be an energy healer anymore. This is too much pressure. This is too much anxiety. This is a test. This is a test of your true abilities. Are you strong enough? Do you have enough faith? Do you have enough loyalty? Do you have enough belief in God, the source, the Mother, Father God, the A to Z God, the up and above and side to side God? Do you have faith? If you have faith, keep that faith. Keep working with that God. Keep trying. Stay with your ascending masters. I don't even care who you are. Jesus, I love Jesus. He is my #1 ascending master. Work with him all the time. I also work with Yusui. Work with Shiva. There are many out there. Isis is very, 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 very predominant lately. She is really out there to help you, and she is really trying to be by your side and to give that life back. So call on your ascending masters, have them help you, have them, with you in prayer, have your angels with you in prayer, have whoever it is that you utilize with you while you are sending out all of this prayers, all of the love, all of the meditation out to the world, to a better place, because you are going to need your help. But don't worry, because when we prove ourselves, when we can gain our energy back, when we can get back on top of things and rule over our energy and rule over this energy, know that our power is going to come to us tenfold, because this is just a test. And not only is this a test just of this little time, but this is going to be a test of what is really coming, because when Rapture Day comes, or Redemption Day comes, we are going to be seeing demons. We're going to be seeing extraterrestrials that are beyond the energies that we are even dealing with right now. So this is minute. This is tiny on the grand scale of the things that we are going to be dealing with and the things that we are going to be bringing in if we don't put a stop to this right now. I mean, I'm not saying that the world's going to end in the next 10 years. We're talking a few hundred years, but this is just the beginning. And if we don't stop this, if we don't bite it in the butt right now, it's going to be huge. It's going to be huge, 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 and the end of days are going to end up coming. Just like you see on the TV, where Earth is just a vacant place, there's a few people living. That's what's going to end up happening if we don't know how to do this. And I'm telling you right now, bullets are not going to stop these ETs. Bullets are not going to stop the artificial intelligence that is, not will be, that is. Check your algorithms, check Wall Street, Google, Yahoo, Facebook, look on those things. I'll make another video on that at another time. But actually, artificial intelligence has already taken over the humans to a point that we cannot stop them at this point unless we seize all electronics and then rebuild the energies under the ocean floor. So look at that information, because it is worth looking for. So the extraterrestrials, artificial intelligence, which is run by artificial intelligence is run by the extraterrestrial. How that can, and Tesla knew this. This is why in the 1930s there was no Wi-Fi that came out. Now Tesla was the one that invented Wi-Fi. We didn't see it in his age. Why? Because he realized that this was a communication and a way for these extraterrestrials to start taking over the mind control of the people. And just as Tesla said it would do, that's what it's starting to do. At this point, anytime that we have tried to stop Wall Street computer systems from their formulation and try to figure out how they are how they are calculating so quickly on the algorithms, when we've tried to shut it down, the computers have actually attacked us, and we have ended up losing money over, or Wall Street has lost money over shutting down the computers, because they virused the people, so that if we shut them down, that we'll start losing monies, and I'm talking in the billions of dollars here. And so they literally can't shut down their computer system anymore, because the computers have taken over the humans. So just kind of something to think in. Definitely look into that. Like I said, I'll make a whole other video on that. But when it comes down to the extraterrestrials and artificial intelligence, the only thing that is going to take these things down is energy. So people, we need to start learning energy. We need to start doing energy. We really need to start pushing it. If you are an energy waker, please, please, please don't give up. If you are an intuitive, a psychic, please, please, please don't give up. Fight harder, and show these things, show this consciousness that we are not weak. Show them that we have faith. Show them that we have energy, and we are going to take them down. Thank you so much for listening to my video today. I hope that this helped you. I hope that this brings you some kind of peace, some kind of clarity of the fact that you are not going insane. You are not the only one that is being disconnected. You aren't the only one with colds and heartaches and emotional upsets. This is the new consciousness that is coming through. So please, 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 after you watch this video, do prayer, do meditation, do whatever, send out your love, so that we can increase these vibrations of the world. Because at this point right now, negative stuff is just going to feed it. It's just going to give it more will. It's going to give it more energy, and we can't do that. We need to get these vibrations up to a plasmic level, so that they become very, so that the cells, atoms become very ionic, and these things get uncomfortable here, and then they shoot out to where they're supposed to be, and also so we can fill that gap in on the Earth's grid. Anyways, I love you. You have a beautiful day.